Hey all, so today's my last day at work, literally, like forever. So Lindsay and myself, we're finishing work, we're loading up the RV and we're hitting the road as of like this weekend. I'm going through a lot of emotions today. I've actually just snuck out the back at work to record this video really quickly while I'm in the middle of it. I'm going through a lot of emotions and my mind is telling me a lot of stories. So right now I'm experiencing some fear based on the fact that my daughter is in Australia, and if I had have stayed at work full time, as much as it's not my heart path and you know it very slowly would have chipped away at me, I would have been able to pay for my airfare to go back and see her. Now that's still a very big possibility because we are creating our own thing, and you know it's all about bringing into the world what is in our heart, following our heart path, and that's what Hug Your Chaos and Life Warrior is all about. That's what our coaching is about, that's what our writing is about, and in living our authenticity, we're making the move to follow that. However, it doesn't mean that it's without fear. So the other things that I'm experiencing, you know, I mean, I've been quite good friends with the owner of the company, and we haven't, you know, had a falling out as such, but I can feel that there's definitely some kind of a rift there, and that hurts my heart a little bit as well. So I'm working through these things, and you know, today it's a very bittersweet day. It's a day of celebration, it's a day of new beginnings, but it's also a day of endings. And you know, when you come across these things that when you're stepping through the door, everything in the room that you're leaving behind, you kind of have a glance back and you look at that stuff and you're like, well, this stuff's been a part of my life. Am I really okay to step beyond this? Am I really okay to let that go? And the answer has to be yes, because what's waiting for you in the next room is always, every single time, better than what you've left behind. Otherwise, the opportunity to do so wouldn't have arisen. The universe never leaves us with nothing, or with less, or with worse. You know, it's an equal exchange, and as long as we keep the gateway open, the exchange is always to and fro. We give, we take, we give, we take, and that's just part of life. So I'm really excited about this journey that Lindsay and myself are about to take. Today I'm feeling a little bit nervous, I'm a little bit frightened, and sort of working through a lot of emotions, but as I say to everybody that I talk to, my clients and people that I deal with, just stay with the breath and everything's okay. But this is this is where it all begins. So I wanted to document that, and we'll see where we go from here. Hopefully my next check-in will be swinging golf balls off the roof of the RV into Glacier Bay in Alaska or something. Well, I mean, there'll be a few check-ins between now and then, of course, but you know what I'm saying. One thing I did want to bring up is, do we find that our time in the wilderness, that our time in nature, that our time on holidays, that our time away is so beautiful to us because it's balanced with having to work, with doing something that we don't want to do? Well, I struggled with that for a minute, and the answer that I came back with is we need to find balance in what we're doing and still working. So if we were out just constantly playing and, you know, doing our own thing, running around the woods and swimming and climbing and, you know, just living like that, yes, pretty soon I could imagine that I would be craving some structure, some work, some camaraderie, some teammate. I mean, outside of my beautiful teammate Lindsay, you know, working with other people. But I believe as long as we keep balance in what we're doing, that everything is going to be just fine. You know, our time in the wilderness, when we're in the RV, we're pulled up somewhere really pristine like Mount Shasta or Death Valley or, you know, whatever, that when we're in those spaces, as long as we have a structured day where we get up, we do our workout, we do our yoga, we have our breakfast, we do work for a series of hours, and then we do our exploring and our playing and, you know, all of the climbing and the swimming or, you know, whatever. As long as we maintain a balance and we have a daily structure, that we're just going to keep that awe with the beauty that we're living in. it may be completely invalid. I mean, that's something that I want to check in again with later. You know, we live in these artificial environments. We live in concrete kingdoms. We live, you know, we commute on highways. We live in buildings, and we come to a workplace. We haven't always done that. We've always been in the wilderness. You know, it's our heritage. It's where we come from. So I think humans need structure. We need to have balance. It can't just be all one thing. But I don't know, it's definitely food for thought. There's a blog in there somewhere, I'm sure of it. There might even be a book in there, who knows. Let's see where we go with that. Much love, everybody, and I'll check in again soon.